Hello there assassins, welcome back to another Wheelassassin guide. This is going to be part number 3 of how to build Brimborn Steelworks in Minecraft and of course from Stranger Things. So, if you didn't check out the previous 2 parts, you can find them on the channel. There'll be a link in the description below. There'll also be a card in the top right hand side of the screen to the playlist. So feel free to go ahead, catch up a little bit and then crack on with this section. So today we just have ourselves the details to finish off. Things like the sign, the details on the windows, basically everything that makes this look like it's an abandoned steelworks. And of course the little details to make it look like Stranger Things is involved. So yeah, we got to get some stuff going, but let's just go for it. We've got this. Okay, for step 1 here, let's take some iron bars, a very heavily damaged anvil, a grindstone, blast furnace, a cauldron, some stone, andesite, iron trapdoors, and finally a lever as well. Firstly, we're going to come up here, we're going to take our stone, and we're going to go to here, all the way down into the little gap that we made down here. And now fill in the rest of this section, just one layer high, with our stone. So right the way to here, and then back to there. So just giving it a big floor. If you guys want to get this done, feel free. And then whilst you're at it, if you want to take yourself andesite for the inside of the building, everywhere in the inside, including down here, please feel free to do that too. So stone on the outside, just here, andesite all the way on the inside here, around the actual basement staircase as well. Let's go for this. We're going to do this well. Well, there we are. That looks much nicer now. Much more tidy. As you can see here, it kind of looks like this is slumped into the floor, so we'll fix that in a moment. That was my bad from the last part, but it's an easy thing. We just need to lift it out of the floor. Coming back outside though, if we get on to this part of the sort of structure above, next to the doorway to the right, we take some iron bars just for a cluster of 4 like so. Then the next one along, we take heavily damaged anvils for 2 here, 1 above it, 3 grindstone, 2 more anvils just there, a blast furnace here, with a cauldron slapped on top like so. Not really sure what this is supposed to represent, but it's just going to be like a bunch of industrial materials, just kind of looming there like so. Now I want to go to every single window on the ground floor and put trapdoors behind it. We want these to be folded down against the windows to make them look more metallic-y, I guess. I know it's not very scientific, is it? That word isn't very sophisticated. But we're trying to make it look more tacky as well. So if we stick ourselves iron trapdoors on these windows, not these ones because they're worth 2 and they're raised up from the floor, but these ones over here. Then you stick levers on the side of all of these, and of course we'll flip these down in a moment to have ourselves like a closed off window like this. It's almost like putting bars on the window. Could be a security measure, but I think it's to just give them that sort of 4 pane look instead of rather the 1 there, like that. Which looks really cool. If you want to do this for all of these windows here, and then flip the levers down, then let's get on to the next step. I almost forgot to mention, but for these windows over here, it is absolutely fine to stick them above and below. We're going to fit the sign in this gap, so that is the only space we're going to require there. And as for these ones around the corner, it's best to place them above the windows here because we have ourselves a little bit more detail with anvils below. Now then, onto the starting to decorate the place. Onto the extra detailing really. We're going to take some iron trapdoors again. We're going to come to this layer of windows and we're just going to go ahead and crack some and just stick trapdoors in their place. On the top is fine. So on the top of the block. Just go along every now and again, just punch out a window and stick yourself a trapdoor in its place. And then step back, see how it's looking. If you're happy with the amount you've got in there, then you can call it a day. Yeah, I'm saying that's pretty well done. And then up here you want to do the same. Now the purpose of this is to make it look like it's been maybe had rocks thrown at it, or these are open windows. So like the factory when it was in use had these windows open to allow the fumes and stuff to sort of leave the area. So there we go. And on this side, try not to copy the other side if you can help it. Try to start at a different spot, which I know is difficult, but it just makes it look a lot more natural rather than someone's done this on purpose. Like this. Cool. That looks good. Might just add another one down here, say. Just there, maybe. A bit closer. I like that. Happy days. So yeah, once you're happy with it, call it a day there. and then we can get on to another step. Alright then, so for the next step, let's take some polished andesite slabs, a soul lantern, nether brick fences, a sea lantern, a glow item frame, which is actually going to kind of correlate with the sea lantern here, stopping the sea lantern from glowing, but also allowing for the item frame to grow in its kind of place, which is pretty cool. It means we can make like a little lamp outside. Polished dorite slabs, an iron trap door, a stone cutter, and an anvil as well. Alright then, so up here, on this andesite kind of wall, we'll just take ourselves a polished dorite slab on the top of there like so. Like I said, little chimney, nothing too major just there. Over here, under the second slab along, just stick a soul lantern. That is kind of above the sign that goes here. And now over here, you want to stick yourselves 2 nether brick fences this way, closest to the door. Then we stick ourselves a dorite slab on the below of that top fence. Hopefully it won't connect. It shouldn't connect because of the update we're in, which is kind of good. Then we stick ourselves an item frame below, and then a sea lantern down here, actually on an angle like so. Just looks like a proper lamp just there. From the side, maybe not so much, but from the front for sure. Like around here, for example. That looks pretty cool. Then we're just going to take ourselves an iron door here. Now this one, I like the hinges to be closest to the other side, so the actual kind of handle is on this way. So I'm going to just remove these blocks and stick a door there. In its spot, I'm going to grab myself the wax oxidized copper back and sort that out just there. Good stuff. Now taking myself onto the inside, I'm going to take myself stone cutters and my anvils and kind of do some decorating. We don't need to go to town with this really, but we're just going to add in a little bit of detail to make it look kind of cool. So in the gaps between your kind of pillars here, you have a 5 block gap, which is great, which means we have a middle block. We're going to go 1 in line, 2, then maybe on 3, you can stick yourself a stone cutter down. We're going to do 3 of these, and then we'll do 3 anvils behind it. We'll do that for all of these. Oops. And then this one too. This one again. And then finally down here you can do... actually we'll leave it, so we have ourselves only 4. And we have a little space on the sides, like so. Now at the very back you can just go along with your anvils in any spots you wish. I'm going to do mine here. Maybe along to 5 longs. 5 longs? What? 5 of them even, like so. Then I'll do 3 up here. Then the other side of the doorway, I'm going to do myself 2 just here, and then I'm going to leave a gap and do 3, like so, and then over here I'll just do 2 against the mud bricks, like that. Sweet. Like I said, nothing too major. We're not going to town, we're just kind of doing a little bit of kind of decorating, as if it's been abandoned, just like this. Oh, in the corner down here we're going to add in some monster spawners, so I know it looks quite sparse at the moment, but don't worry about that. Also, I just want to apologise really quickly if my kind of voice sounds a little bit strange in this third part. I think I'm getting a cold, so I might be just sounding a bit grotty, but I'm all good. Right, under this window we go for about 5 anvils like so. A gap of 2 down here against the doorway, and then we'll do some kind of spread out just here, like that. Doesn't have to be too major, but just a few like that. Again, down here, every now and again, just place a couple of anvils. On the very end, you don't have to place any down here, but you can come back along this way, just placing a few in the little gaps we have here. And if you want to stack them, feel free to do that too. But I think 3 kind of in between the door frames really just looks good on its own. I don't think there's any across that big window, but I'm just going to look quickly just to be on the safe side. No, there's not. There's like a new design coming in later. So yeah, perfect. Let's go ahead and kind of resurrect the basement stairs. Okay, so I've now taken myself some wax oxidized copper, some wax oxidized cut copper slabs, grey stained glass, polished deep slate stairs, an activator rail, monster spawners, bone blocks, and terracotta. Sounds like we're trying to build a monster with these 2 materials. Right, on the inside here, where we have our sinking basement stairs, let's just resurrect this. So we're going to move ourselves the windows upwards, so we can just cut out the blocks and replace them at the bottom. On that side, on the other side, just place glass in there and leave these ones empty. Now we can build this a little bit higher, so we're going to take off all the slabs and stuff and just build it a block higher all the way around. So even as when you get to the sides, you can do the sides a little bit higher as well, like this. and then 2 layers just here. Cool. In the middle, I don't know if that block's there, so I'm going to remove it now. Up above, I'm going to place slabs here. Blocks, slab, block, slabs, block, 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 and then slabs at the very top. Now for the inside, here I'm just going to knock out this wall, so we have ourselves a 3-block kind of high door. And this block here, I'm going to knock that out too. The one behind it, that one too. So now we have ourselves this area here. On the inside, I'm going to have myself a slab here. And I kind of want to have a slab in here as well, like where the block is. So it kind of levels down like that, past this normal block. That looks much better. Also opens up the light in here, so it makes it look a lot cleaner. Cool, you should still have 1, 2, 3, and 4 stairs going down into a basement. And this should be just above bedrock, which is perfect, because bedrock is going to be perfect for the basement flooring. Yeah, that is all good now. This was built correctly, so don't worry about that. That was just my fault with this one. I really shouldn't film when I'm tired. I just make too many mistakes. Right then, let's go with our polished deep slate stairs. We'll go to the second block on this cabinet, and leaving a space away, so here. But instead of going normal stairs like this, we need to place a block, any block, just behind there, to go like a trail of upside down stairs like this. We're going to go along until we reach, let's go to just before we reach the end of this. So here, and one more, just here like so. And then at the very end you can stick a monster spawner like so. Looking good. Now we'll do one exactly the same, just a block away. So here. And we'll build this here. These are kind of conveyor belts, by the way. And then a monster spawner on the end as well. We'll do activator rail all the way across these stairs, and ending before they reach the basket, or monster spawner at the end here. We'll go a block diagonally away from this one, and then we're going to stick ourselves 1, 2 monster spawners like so. We're going to do the same again over here. 1, 2, kind of going down like that. In a strange shape like this. 2 blocks up from this one, actually 3 blocks up, I'm going to place one just there. And this is where we get to do a little bit of just randomizing with our monster spawners. We can place them anywhere. I want to stick one here, and one just back there like so. As I said before, these are kind of baskets for the metal and kind of material we're using to make the steel. So we're going to go for one there maybe, one here, one back there, then we can go for one here, one there, and then one there. So just kind of sparsely filling up the area. Try not to get them too close if you can help it, just because it looks much better and looks more like we've actually put in a bit of detail into this place rather than just placing them down. That looks good. Then we'll come into this section, we'll do one there. No idea what I was trying to say there. We'll do another one just here. One behind the pillar maybe. Just there though. That's perfect. Just so it doesn't connect. Another here. Maybe one there. Now at the back here, we're going to go 2 blocks in from the edge. 1, 2. Third one in. Monster spawner. And then I'm going to do upside down backward stairs. Just along until I reach maybe the middle of this second kind of pillar. So just, let's go a block past that monster spawner there. So here like so. Cool. Doesn't have to be the same as mine of course guys, but feel free to do it if you want to. I'm going to build 3 lots of these and I'm going to do them 2 or 3 blocks away from one another. So I'll do this one 2 blocks away. 3 blocks away, sorry. 1, 2, 3. I'm actually going to start with a monster spawner again. And then I'm going to do myself my conveyor. Feel free to put track on these if you want to, but you don't have to. Not a problem. Right, let's get to this second one up. So just here. Just going to check that looks about accurate. Second block along, should we say? Second block before the end. Yeah, that looks good. Then we'll do 1, 2, 3. Monster spawner. And then our conveyor belt going along here. Let's go for a block to the end there. Actually, that looks kind of good anyway, so on its own. Let's go a little bit further along. Just there. If you want to make these entirely accurate, you know, like count them all individually and stuff, that's absolutely fine too. But for me, not too worried about their sort of dimensions and shape and everything. So I'm just going to try and make them random like that. Then I'm just going to dot myself some monster spawners around here. Again, no particular sort of fashion or order. I'm just going to literally place them really randomly just there like so. So it looks like I've done way more work than actually needed. No, that's awesome. It's just making it look, like I said, very run down and sparse. You don't want anything just here though, because this opens up for guests and visitors and stuff. And you can imagine this was probably kept clear for vehicles. So you can keep that entirely clear as well. But yeah, just need detail in here. And then you can add a couple behind these machines back there as well if you wanted to. But again, I've kept it clean on my original one, just because maybe there'll be workers back here and things. So best not to get in their way. But yeah, that looks really good. Awesome. Now for the final detail with these materials, we come up to the sign. Now for the back of the sign, we want ourselves bone blocks to be kind of the lowest point of the sign. For that, you have to place yourself a line of different material behind where your bone is going to be, because we want this hollowed out section to be kind of shown on the front here. Just adds like a real nice texture to the place. There we go. Now removing these, we'll place them just above the bone for these 2 layers. Just like so. And voila! That is awesome! So now we just need to brand it. Wicked. Okay, let's get the branding done. Let's move down to the basement after that. And then I think we can call it a day. Oh, maybe just some extra details like the front there and stuff. But yeah, good stuff, guys. Alright then, so for the Brimborn Steelworks sign itself, we're going to need quite a lot of banner materials. I've got myself a nice loom here with a nice chest full of my materials. Let's go ahead and check it out. So we have ourselves a banner pattern firstly for Borgia indented. It's going to be very important. We need ourselves 6 brown banners, 8 white banners, some brown dye, some grey dye, and some white dye as well. Now then, it is pretty tricky, so definitely bear with me. Let's go ahead and open our loom. Spreading out our brown banners first, we'll make ourselves the Brimborn sign. So quite important. Let's go over brown banner first. Let's then go for a brown dye in like so. Oh, sorry. I'm on the wrong one. We need to go with white banners first. Okay. White banner in first. Then we'll take our brown dye. There we go. Already almost made a mistake. Now we need ourselves the lozenge. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Which is this thing. It's like the diamond in the middle of the banner. Just here. We take that out. We take our brown dye out. And we get ourselves white dye. Now we want to kind of chop the diamond in pieces so we can make ourselves the bee. We want to get ourselves a pale sinister, which I believe is this. Is it this one? Yep. So it's going to be the right line down the side there, like so. The white dye can stay in because we need ourselves a white fess, which is going to be for, I believe, is it the top fest? Okay, so it's the middle line across the banner, like this. So it splits the diamond into 2 kind of triangles there. Take that out, put it back in, and we swap out our white dye for some brown dye. We're now going to go ahead and take ourselves the banner pattern in, and get ourselves border indented like so. And it looks very strange, I know, but that's going to look cool in a minute. Take that out, put it back in, take the brown dye out and the banner pattern, and put your white dye back in. Now we want a pale dexter, which is this left line over here, and that just makes it look entirely like a bee. So that's perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and just outline the whole thing with the brown border, just the normal one, like so. Then we have ourselves a pretty fancy looking bee. Now if we come back to the loom, put our bee in our inventory for later, we want to take ourselves the R. We're going to start with the hardest ones first. So we go for the R next, and we're going to take ourselves the white. Hold on a second. Here we go. So white banner, then we take our grey dye. We're going to go in like so, and we're going to take ourselves a grey purfess. So the grey purfess is going to be, is it one of these ones? Is it the bottom one? That's a base fess, that's a chief fess, I think. So this one, the kind of half banner at the top there. Take that out, put it back in. Then we want the white diamond just here, so the lozenge. Take that out and put it back in for a grey fess, which we know is the middle line now, like so. Now we want ourselves a grey pale dexter, which is going to be this kind of left line over here, which makes a really nice looking P, by the way. So if you wanted a P, if you wanted a P even. Oh my goodness me. Okay, I'm going to shut up, but you know what I mean. Now we need ourselves a grey bend, which I think is going to be this one just here. So yeah, entirely slicing the banner down the middle, diagonal line, like so. And then we just need to go ahead and white outline this, like that, for a very nice looking R. and that will be for the Steelworks side of things. For the actual brown banner version, we can take ourselves exactly the same thing. So we want ourselves the fess firstly, which is going to be, is it this one? Per fess, yep. So halving the banner at the top. Then we want the brown lozenge, which is going to be our diamond, just here. Then we want ourselves the white fess, which is going to be that middle line. Then the pale dexter, which is going to be our P then. And then we want ourselves the bend, which is that diagonal line. And finally we want to border the whole thing with our brown dye, like so. Okay, now the hardest ones are done. Let's go ahead and get the easy ones done too. So back in the loom here, we're going to take ourselves a, let's go with a brown banner, just in here. Then we're going to need to make ourselves an eye, which I wonder how on earth we're going to do this. Probably the trickiest one ever. There we go. A white pale on the brown banner like so, and then you just want to go ahead and outline this. If you want to leave all the border stuff until afterwards, that may be a quicker process, so feel free to do that. There we go, there's our eye. Next one goes in, it's going to be the M. We need ourselves the triangle at the top coming down, which is called an inverted chevron, just here. Then we want a pale dexter and a pale sinister. We'll outline afterwards. We've already got another B, so we need to get ourselves an O. We can go pale dexter, pale sinister, then we go for the chief fess and base fess, and that is an O. Nextly, we need ourselves, well, we've already got another R, so we need an N. We're just going to go for a bend like this, pale dexter, and pale sinister, like so. Becoming a bit of a pro with banners now. I used to really struggle to use them, but they're actually a lot of fun. Let's go with outlining all of these with our borders now. O, N, and then M. Perfect. Now we can take our brown dye out. We can take our white banners in and get making the steel sign. So of course we need an S firstly, so we'll take grey dye in there, like so. We want ourselves the bend firstly. Then we want ourselves a chief fess, a base fess, and that looks like a Z or a Z, but that's going to be for our S as well. Then we want T. We're going to go for a chief fess up here, and then we want ourselves this middle line just here, which is called a pale. Now we want ourselves a dexter, pale dexter here, a fess in the middle, and then a chief and base fess for our E. It's quite a lot of E's in steel, so we can save ourselves another E just there. Perfect. So onto the L. We need a pale dexter, and then we need ourselves a base fess as well. Done and dusted. Now we want to do the opposite of what we did for the M to make a W. So we go with a chevron just here, a pale dexter, and a pale sinister. Now we need an O in this exact same colour. So we'll go with ourselves a pale dexter, a pale sinister, a base fess, a chief fess, and that is an O. And that is everything here. Oh, we need one more banner because we forgot a K. Ah, I am an idiot. Let's grab ourselves one more white banner for that K as well. The K is actually quite a simple one. You may think it's like a tricky one, which I did as well when I first sort of started to use banners. It's not too bad though. So we can either go with a crosshatch like this, which is a little bit skinny on the lines. It would work though, so we can actually kind of cheat it this way and save ourselves some time. Let's go with a grey saltire just here. Put it back in and get yourselves a pale dexter just like so. And then outline all of these white banners with, of course, your white dye. So let's go ahead and just do this quickly. This is probably the most satisfying section. Just here. And once you're finished, you can then run on over to your original one. Hey look, I got another brown banner, but not the other white banners that I needed. Ah, crumbs. That's alright, so we'll take all of these back out in a moment. So let's move them all down. And then I'm going to run over to my new Brimborn. And where we made the terracotta and bone sort of structure is where we're going to place our sign. So on the actual terracotta, you want to start with a brown banner and a brown banner on the end. Just blank. And then of course we need ourselves the B, which I think I left back at the original one. Ah, let me go grab it. Okay, so now I recovered my B and my R, which I also forgot. We can now write Brimborn. So we go B, R, I, get yourself your M. Oh, it's here. Perfect. Another B over here. You need an O, an R, and then an N, just there like so. Brimborn, like that. That looks awesome. Now for these ones down here, for Steelworks, you can grab yourselves an item frame. I'm going to use item frames to kind of mark these out. It just saves us a lot more space than we actually need. Because if you think banners take up like 2 blocks of space, we want ourselves to be able to fit it on this entire kind of row here. It's very helpful as well that these manage to fit like next to each other. Otherwise it would have been super awkward to have one more block on either side. Which did take me a long time to figure out, but we got there in the end. Okay, so let's grab ourselves the rest of the letters out of here. Probably going to be in a really random order. That's okay. Okay, so we need to write ourselves Steelworks. S-T-E-E-L-W-O. Where is my R gone? Ah, no! R, K, and S. Finally. Awesome, look at this now. You can almost barely tell the difference between this one and my original one. That is so cool. Happy days. Okay, before we move on to the next section, guys, if you'd like to take yourselves the stone back just here, you can now go ahead and fill in this entire section just here with your stone. So if you want to get that done, then we can move on to some more little details and then get this one completed. I'm not going to lie, guys, I actually think Minecraft basements scare me more than real basements. The reason being is because they are so hard to build in Minecraft, honestly. It's mostly just because they are so hidden away that when it comes to trying to like dig out the entire area, it is pretty hard to get right. But I do have a solution. So for anyone playing like I'm playing on a normal creative world, that only goes down like 4 layers, I think. Where it's super helpful because we've raised up the entire building just by 1 block, which is super helpful and gives us enough room to build a big basement. So to do this, you want to start by going to your sort of basement stair shack just here. And you're going to go right to the end, so from this block here, the start, right the way forward to this part of the conveyor belt. Now underneath of it is where you're going to start building your basement. So you can actually dig that out to the floor to bedrock just there. That is going to mark out where you're starting. And your ending position is going to be over here underneath this final granite pillar, just here. Again, this one can go down to bedrock level, like so. Now all you need to do is dig out an imaginary square that runs the entire length underneath this entire building. The best thing to do is to drop down under here and literally start digging along, and then every now and again pop your head out like a mole up to the roof layer, by the way, so up to the andesite floor, just here. Stick a andesite so you can see, sorry, a soul lantern. So when you get up to here, you're starting to know when you're coming outside, so we need to just stop before we reach the outside, and then occasionally sort of dig up here and think, right, we're not even close yet, so we need to get ourselves right the way over there. So we're actually coming up to the stairs now. So back down, back along this way, so that's the staircase, that's perfect. We actually do need to dig the staircase out, so that's fine. And once you dig like enough there, back out of your little hole, go to the other one and start digging underground along this way. And then you come down to your other hole over here and you start digging along this way until X and Y basically meet, and you have yourselves like a meeting point, which means that you can then continue with the rest of the build. So that's getting a bit dark, so let's come out of this one just for a moment. Let's grab ourselves a lantern back from down here, which I'm going to need that. There we go. This will all be lit up as well afterwards, so don't worry about that. And then I'm going to fly myself back out of here, come on down to the other one. Hopefully I've dug enough that way, and then when we get going we'll be able to see where we are. Now I'm going to pop my out here just to see where I am. Oh, look at that, I'm a block off. So I literally dug enough. That's perfect. And then we just go this way, and there we are. So now we're here. And now all we need to do is do the exact same thing again. So go down this way, along this wall, until we reach here. So you can actually already dig that one out just so you know where to stop. And then when you go down this way and dig alongside the wall, you'll have like a nice empty 1 block gap where you're like, I didn't actually do that. So that's where you know to stop. Which we'll hopefully discover it together. Is that it? Not yet. almost there. There it is, just here, next to that andesite. And then when you dig along this way again, you'll have yourself a full square that you can then start to remove all the dirt within the square. Now if you're playing on survival, I am so sorry. I do all my stuff in creative and I just don't know the troubles that you go through in survival, so I really do feel for you, and I just want to say I'm very inspired by how much effort you put into these builds. It's awesome. But yeah, so now we're going to dig out all of this dirt in here to get ourselves all the way to over there. Oh, painstaking, I know, but if you want to use yourself /fill, that may be easier. Actually, I'm going to show you how to do it. So if we go to this one, so I'm going to go to the top of this dirt block that I want to remove. I'm going to type /fill into my commands window. I'm going to write my coordinates. Please bear in mind your coordinates will be entirely different to mine, so do not use these. A 5, 8, 9. Your elevation may be the same as mine, so 3 could be the same if you're on a normal Minecraft world. Then my coordinate is 639. That will say error, that's fine because I want to save that. And I'm going to go down to this side, so the opposite corner, diagonally, and I'm going to go right to the bottom of the dirt here instead. And I want to get the entire bottom dimension down here. So 1, that's perfect. 6, 5, 7 for me. And then I'm just going to type in air just here. That is the material I want it to fill in, just with air. And voila, it's that simple. 1,301 blocks saved from having to destroy myself. Pretty lazy, I know, but it does save you a lot of time, and then you can crack on with the important stuff. So now we'll get ourselves going with the basement. So the only bad thing this does do, doing that whole /fill situation, is remove the stairs for us. But that's fine, because we need to go ahead and stick ourselves andesite blocks behind our staircase in order to make it look more realistic. So we just stick andesite like that, we'll grab our stairs back, and then place them down here like so. Perfect. Gonna grab my andesite back just in case, and then we have those. Now we can do ourselves a little banister up the side of the stairs with our iron bars, just against the dirt there, and then down to here like so. You can do it 1 block past the stair as well if you wish, like that. Just looks a lot nicer. Cool. Now we're going to go ahead and build ourselves the pillars that go down here. So you'll notice this side is shorter than this side. That is done on purpose, so don't worry about that. We want to take ourselves andesite wall. We're going to go next to this furthest along fence, so this one here. The block here, hopefully you can see that's highlighted, just there. I'm going to count myself just to 3. 1, 2, 3. Now on 4, I'm going to build myself a structure of 4 andesite wall like this. This is going to be my first pillar. So 1, 2, 3 along, on 4, pillar over here. This is my first pillar of 3 that go along this wall. Well, this side of the basement. I'm going to leave a gap of 5 between them. So I'm going to go for the full block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now down here on the 6th is where I'm going to build my new one. Just down here. Check the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Temporary soul lanterns. And then we'll fill all this up. And then we'll leave another gap of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On 6. Should be a block away from the end here. That is absolutely fine. So yeah, we're going to build all this up. Just like so. Now as this is the outside wall, and if we break some of this, we're going to start to... No, we might not. Okay. Forget me. Don't worry about that. I thought we were going to have to see the outside world, but no, we're all good. So yeah, we have ourselves 3 pillars in here. That is perfect. Now you can spin around to the other side down here. This way along the fence. We're going to go for 6, and on the 6th one is where we build. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on 6 here, we stick ourselves a pillar this way. Make sure it's in line with the previous one, and then you can leave that gap of 5 to build the others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on 6. Just like so. Build all of these up to the roof. Like this. Imagine they're sort of holding up the roof, which is always good. There we are. And now we can build ourselves the basement. Now before we continue, if you want to go ahead and go around the entire dirt wall here, including that andesite that we placed before, and just replace it with stone, that'll look a lot better. Then it'll be a stone to bedrock kind of ratio down here instead of dirt, which looks pretty disgusting. So yeah, get yourselves the stone going for the walls, and then we'll build ourselves a little mine flayer blob down here. So now we can venture into the downstairs world. not quite the upside down, but the downstairs world. And this looks a lot cleaner and a lot tidier, which is all about to change. We want to go to the staircase here, and 9 blocks away from the stairs, so counting on the bedrock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So on the 9th one, we can stick ourselves our first block of mud just here. This is going to be for the sludgy sort of Mind Flayer blob that is down here in the beginning of Stranger Things Season 3. So to build this, we're going to do like a line like this. I'm going to stick some soul lanterns around just so I can show you, just so it's a bit brighter. Now it looks like I'm doing a ritual. That's alright, there we go. And then we'll do ourselves 2 here with 1 up. We can do 1, 2, 3 in the middle there, connected to the roof is fine. And then we'll take ourselves grey stained glass panes for 1 here, 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 1 in front of that soul lantern. Or you can use red, you can go entirely red with this, it's up to you guys. I went very grey because it fits with the sort of surroundings, but if you wanted to go for red, make it more realistic to the show, by all means go for it. So that looks good. Now I'll spin around to the back over here. There's actually some incorporated light into this, which is good, by sticking 2 there, and 2 more mud blocks even there, and a soul lantern behind the 3 there. Then we can do ourselves another 3 besides the soul lantern, and we'll do 1 just here, and then we'll do like a lantern down there if you want, or you can be dangling from the thing, it's fine. Cool, then we can remove these ones, and then around this corner it is just going to be kind of coming out the side a bit, so 2 there. We can do ourselves 1 block down there maybe. We'll do a block here on the side, and then we'll just kind of put in glass where we feel glass is necessary. So literally they're kind of in the little gaps around like this, just to make it look like it's all, you know, just not normal. We're trying to make it look very not normal. There we are, that looks good, like a big blob, like so. And then the final material to use down here, final 2 materials, are cobwebs and tube coral fan. You can stick your tube coral fan on the walls, every now and again just place a little bit around, just like this. It kind of looks good dotted around like this. Adds a bit more texture to the whole place as well. And then once you've figured out that you've done enough, you can take your cobwebs and you can just go ahead and stick these around as well. On the floor, on the ceiling, basically anywhere you want. And you can double up these as much as you wish as well. Just again, adding in as much detail as possible down here, making it like a proper, unused, abandoned basement. So once you're happy with enough cobwebs, then maybe just stick some on the ceiling as well, just to make it look like it's a bit more natural. Lots of spiders down here probably. Although I wouldn't want to be a spider in the Mind Flayer's presence, to be honest. Actually, that's his favourite meal is probably like Mrs. Driscoll or something. So I think the spiders would be fine. Alright, there we go. And then we can stick some tube coral fan down here as well on the floor. Just because it fans out in a nice little kind of very dead looking pattern. So we can just go ahead and dot this around too. And then call it a day for the entire Brimborn Steelworks interior. Good stuff. And there we go. Now if we step back, how spooky does that look? That looks awesome. Actually, this looks better than my original. Nice. I'm going to remove these soul lanterns though, because I don't really want these down here. I just want the glow to be in the middle, where the Mind Flayer is. So removing these, like this. And then if you're on yourself a world that isn't peaceful, so if you're on an easy world, let's say, you can actually take yourself some silverfish. So the silverfish spawn egg is in here somewhere. Bear with me. It took me a while to find it when I was originally building this. There it is. So it's like the grey egg just here. And these actually kind of represent the rats that are going to be down here and around the Mind Flayer. So you can go ahead and stick a bunch of these around this area. And then you can even stick some up here, like just a few dotted around up here as well. And they kind of wiggle their tails and look a little bit like rats. So that's pretty cool. And there we are. That is the Brimborn Steelworks interior done. Let's go ahead and finish up the details outside, and then we can finally finish with this build. Okay, so now we're on to the part that usually takes the longest amount of time. But you can kind of see why, because it does make everything look a lot more incorporated, I guess. Like, it makes it look like it's an actual scene, rather than just being like a plonked building. So we take ourselves some mangrove leaves, some oak leaves, an oak sapling, some bone meal, yellow stained glass pane, light grey stained glass pane, spruce leaves, spruce saplings, and some vines as well. Okay then, so firstly coming down to this area over here, we want to try and plant ourselves a very big oak tree if we can, just in the space over here. So you can go a little bit back from the corner, maybe try and get this just to be there, perhaps. Yeah, that looks good. And then I really want to get a big oak tree. If we don't get a big one, keep planting until you do get a massive one. Ah, crumbs, it's going to take a while. Well guys, after many failed attempts at getting a very big tree, I finally got one. It's not ideal, it doesn't look exactly like how I wanted it to be, but it does look natural, and that is very important. You know, I even got a tree with a blooming beehive, but still no big tree. They must be rarer, I'm not sure. But anyways, that's fine, we got one in the end. We're going to go ahead and continue this hedgerow, kind of going along the road here. Now it's really difficult because we have to make it look natural. So for that, I just recommend doing like a castle wall sort of design with your oak leaves first, and then making it look a bit more natural afterwards. So going along like this, until you reach this section where you're close to the road. And now we're going to continue it, maybe for like 3 blocks, perhaps like here. Kind of doubling up a little bit there. And then we start to come back on ourselves, trying to make it look a bit more natural and, you know, like it's really out of control. No groundskeeper has been here for a very long time, so it needs to just look like that. Which can be a little bit tricky, I understand, but don't worry, you guys have got this. If you think you can build some of my other crazy Minecraft tutorials, then I'm pretty sure you've got this in the bag. There we go. Alright, then we'll come back here and we'll take ourselves mangrove leaves, and these are going to go right the way along our fence just here. They can be as high as the fence if you wish, or they can be lower than the fence. It's nice that we're building a lot of like foliage, because we don't have to play like the same card over and over again. We don't have to do it the same way. So we can do our own little design every now and again. Just adding a little bit more detail, going over the hedge a little bit. Like I said, it's kind of out of control. Someone needs to get over here and sort this out. That looks good. And then down here behind the oak, now going past the road. As we go to the little dip here, you can dip it again with the fence before it, just like this, like maybe a little bit before, and then we'll leave a little gap here, and still continue with our mangrove. Which these leaves, they look so cool. I really like them. So chuffed that Minecraft added them. Always love a new piece of like gardening equipment for the game. So cool. Right, and then we'll go along here. And we'll start to build it up again, just as we're starting to get closer to the lowest point in the fence. We actually added ourselves another tree down this way, so you can keep the fence kind of going flat, all the way until you're, I think it's until the edge of the step, so we can actually back this up a bit, just to here. I'm going to go 2 blocks back, and then do that there. Up a little bit here, there as well. Cool. There's another tree that goes in here. It's quite close to the fence, so we'll build it just about there. It can be a small tree this time. Doesn't have to be a big one. And then you can come behind it with your oak leaves and just kind of make it look like there's a hedge back here as well. A little bit. So you can incorporate the tree trunk in that as well. Just like that. And then dot yourself some leaves around on the lawn and make it look really crazy and out of control. Sweet. In the gaps, just take yourself some bone meal. Doesn't have to be, you know, you don't have to worry about all the flowers being in the way or anything. That's actually perfect. So if you go like that around, now over here, we're going to add in ourselves a little pylon. This is going to be for the outside of Brimborn, but kind of the cables come into Brimborn's property. So we're going to go next to this staircase, 1 block away, go into here with a yellow, a block away, another yellow, then we'll do ourselves 2 grey. One of them is not going to be connected to the fence, but that's perfect. Then basically it's going to come up diagonally, so it's going to go 1 there, another 1 here, and then up diagonally again, just to here. Kind of over the fence, like that, representing cabling, just like so. Now we can continue with our bone meal around here, and look at that, that looks really good. See, it adds a whole different, like, also like a personality to the whole build, I guess, which is pretty cool. As we have ourselves mangrove leaves on us, we can go next to the border If you want to build outside the border now, feel free to do that. Adding yourself a road and stuff, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to go a little bit over my border just to build this telegraph pole afterwards. I'll go next to the cabling here for 2 lots, and then 1 block just there as well, just for a little bit more of a hedge. Nice. Backtracking a bit, I'm going to take myself bone meal all the way down to this area over here. So where we have all this sort of hedge and stuff, let's add some very overgrown grass and things as well. All the way in between the piles as well, and then right the way back towards the train tracks. Cool. Bone meal again adds a lot more texture. Looking good. Try and make the grass grow long as well, just so it looks even more menacing. That always looks good. And then I'm going to chop out that one, maybe add one there. Make the fence lower just there perhaps. Just so it doesn't look too much like a jungle, but still overgrown. There we go. Cool. Good stuff. Okay then, where else do we need to be? We need to go right down now to the other side. So right the way over to here. We're going to add in ourselves some more oak leaves just behind the fence. We're going to do it towards the end of the fence, so we have a little bit of normal fence, and then it sort of gets oak leafy just where the sort of anvils are and stuff. So we can do a little bit further on. Yeah, let's go about here and then start to build. So we'll do this underneath the fence there, and then I'm going to plant a tree just about here, like so. Oh, that's a big tree. That's actually perfect. We'll use that. And then we're just adding ourselves leaves, oak leaves if we can, making this look like a normal hedge that goes alongside the road and stuff like that. Maybe the tree has kind of grown around it as well, so you can add some more leaves around here. I find placing leaves very satisfying, to be honest. It looks good. There we go, that looks good. And now for the fun part, we get to take ourselves spruce saplings and build ourselves a mini forest. Your forest can be anywhere you like, so even on the border, beyond the border, wherever you like. Just go ahead and place about, well actually there's no limit to the number, just so long as it doesn't sort of block off Brimborn. So you just want to take yourselves like a nice forest back here with your spruce. Keep in mind that this is here, so of course it might block off, so we may need to move it that way. And then you can do one between them, because it hasn't been cleared away for a long time, so it's all overgrown and whatnot. And then we'll do some behind as well. So we'll do some over here, maybe 2 here, back here, and then back here as well. And then when you grow these, they start to change the ground as well, which is so cool. And it really adds that forest effect to the whole thing, which is amazing. Once again, bone meal up the in-betweens, so just adding grass every now and again, here as well. And hopefully, when you've finished with your bone meal, you should have what looks like a very overgrown sort of forest area towards the back and side of Brimborn. So here too, on that little bit of grass as well up above, if you wish. So up here, feel free. And then in here we're going to add ourselves some sort of hedges and whatnot for the underside of these. That's pretty cool actually, I like that. There's quite a lot of this stuff in here, but you can change that to grass if you want and add in some more bone meal. So under these we're going to do ourselves just some nice leaves every now and again, just like this, and we'll do one just there like so. The next one, one, and then we'll go 3, sorry, 2, then we'll do another 2, that's fine. We'll go for 1 out the side there, or maybe back. Yeah, back looks better. We'll do 2 here, 1 underneath the actual thing, and 2 just here. Then on the raised platform, 1, and 2 just there. We don't do any bone meal between them. You can add a little bit of grass in if you like, just so it doesn't look so sort of tidy, but you can do that one afterwards. Yeah, look at that. Look how much character this has added. That looks way cooler now. Awesome. So now let's go ahead and add in ourselves some vines. So for the vines, you're going to come to the front of Brimborn. There's not too many on the front here. We're going to go next to the anvils and place some here, in between this, and above here as well. That is the closest we get to the door with adding these vines in. Now we'll start to backtrack, placing them around here, up the side of the door maybe just there, and then down here as well, like under, almost where the forest area is. Like this, 3 here, 1 and then 3 up there as well. maybe even one there, like so. Yeah, cool, it's kind of grown up the side of the building. And on the very back of the building, we do quite a lot of vines on the back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my one, and then you can speedrun this and build your own one. So if you see here, I put a bunch of vines down, and I've also scattered some spruce leaves around here as well, just to make it look even more overgrown. So yeah, none of these are going to be on the train tracks, but they are going to be touching in places. And I've also chopped out some of the gravel to make it look like it's not been sort of leveled properly either. Maintained. So yeah, go ahead and do this, guys, and then we'll continue with the last little bit of detail. So this Brimborn is actually looking kind of unrecognizable now. It looks like the place, which is awesome. But when I was looking between the two, I couldn't tell which one was my original one. So that is pretty good to see. We're now going to take ourselves some grass, some ferns, a grass block, an oak log, oak leaves, spruce fences, a block of iron bars, and then a lever as well. We're going to need some more materials too, just like a few, but we'll have to grab them in a bit. So at the back here, just one final thing you can do is, if we've removed the red border, which we haven't just yet, you just want to dot yourself some grass and ferns around the kind of outside of the train tracks, just to make it look again more natural and like it's an actual sort of used railway back here. Used by what I mean is like rundown. So just here, like this, pretty simple. You just do like a swaying method just to get the ferns in between the grass there. And then when you look at it again, it just looks overgrown, which is pretty good. Awesome. Now around the front here, the reason we need the grass and the oak and stuff is because in between these two windows is a big tree. So we just need to plant ourselves, well, make ourselves a tree. So we go ahead and build underneath this window 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of grass. And then we leave 2 empty and we build 1, 2 just here. Then we'll go for, you know what, we'll go in front of this one for 2 more as well, over here. And then we'll build 1 just there. Now we'll build double grass just here, or you can make double grass or normal grass there, grass here, and grass there. We'll also do 1 in the back. And now I'm going to take myself some logs. I'm going to build myself a tree, kind of trunk that goes here like that. So a bit of a weird one. That is all good. I might just bring it down just a block, like so. Cool. Now we just need to build a tree. So the simple thing about this one is we just need to make it kind of cover up the windows and stuff. So in the beginning, you just have like a big square like that, like a big chunk of tree, just there like so. And then we just start to shape it into an actual proper piece of nature. So come up there maybe. It can come up quite far, by the way. It doesn't have to be, you know, confined to the building. You can build it quite strange like this. And on this side we'll do a little bit different, kind of like that at the top here. And then on the roof you just want to build it kind of flat, but still going into a bit of a point up here as well. So like this, for example. And maybe at the back here just add in like 1, maybe 2 up there. And yeah, I'm going to call that a day. That looks pretty good. I just add in another one there on the side. Kind of looks like a swordfish for some reason, but be fine. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy with that. Sweet. We'll call that done. Alright, and then over here for the little pylons and stuff I was on about, you're going to need to build yourselves a spruce just here between your 2 lots of glass, up for 11 blocks high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2 blocks down, 1, 2, and on 3, you're going to actually build yourself a stair here. For now, we're going to mark it out with another fence. At the very top, you want to come out the side and back here for 1, knocking out the one there, and then out and front, just there, kind of diagonally the opposite direction. Now we'll take levers here and here, and we want them to be facing the same direction. So for this one, I'm going to do 2 like this. That looks good. Now I'm going to build another pillar that is going to be just 2 blocks up from this one, 1, 2, and then to my left for 1 and 2, so here. This one goes up for 7, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can imagine this will be on the pathway, just kind of next to the thing. Also in front of it is a speed camera, or a speed sign. So it's going to be a 2 block of iron, and then 1 block of iron. So What am I on? 2 iron bars even. And then a block of iron like so. Nice one. Let's get the final materials and then call this done. Okay, so lastly, we'll take ourselves some cobwebs, some iron trapdoors, spruce stairs, an oak sign, and a spruce button as well. We will stick ourselves the spruce button on the lower pylon, just there. The oak sign will go on here, and it's going to say speed limit in capitals. Speed limit, and we'll say 35, just like so. Move that to the second line down like so, just so it looks a bit better, and that is done. Now up here, we're going to go to the second one down, is it? Just here, and place ourselves an iron trapdoor just there. This will then have a cobweb coming this way, and it's going to go directly across the road in a straight line. So nothing fancy at all, just going to go like that. Cool. Now then, the opposite direction, it'll just come this way, and again alongside the road. So this actually goes overhead of the pathway, like that. Nice one. These are representing the cables, by the way, not actual cobwebs. Now up here, where we have this fence, we want to go ahead and replace it with a stair. And then we'll stick ourselves 2 iron trapdoors, one in front of the stair like so, and one above it like that. That looks good. And now we can build ourselves the cobwebs that go onto this main telegraph pole that make it look like a proper, you know, in-use telegraph pole. So we're going to come to the diagonal of this one and start to build diagonal ones with our cobwebs here. These ones can go as long as you wish. They don't have to go, you know, just for like a little bit and then stop. They can go on forever. But I'm going to bring mine just enough over the road, or where the road will be. The reason I'm not going to teach you guys the road in this video is because if you have your own Hawkins going and you have your own road design, I don't want to waste your time by building the road and then of course it just kind of being filling in the video where it doesn't need to be. So, but anyone needing a road, if you need a tutorial on this, please let me know and I will get a little one out for you. There we go. You can do the one in the middle, or you can do what I did on my original one, and actually went in line with my poles on the side here, and built kind of ones going in 2 parallel lines diagonally. So it kind of looks like train tracks again, but up here in the sky with cobwebs. So not train tracks at all, but but it looks cool. So we do this like that. We make sure it's all diagonal again by knocking out the extra cobwebs. And then we do this one as well. Oops. Bit of a fiddly process because the cobwebs are kind of hard to see sometimes because they're that like frayed. They are pretty difficult to work with. There we go. Make sure they're level. Remove the excess ones. And there we have it. We have ourselves a nice pylon. Right, if we go this way, we can then bring these going along this way instead. So parallel once again, but this time in a straight line. You may come across the tree. Like I said, it's supposed to have been a smaller tree when I did my original one. But as we have a big tree here, just gonna have to clear back some of the leaves so we don't set fire to the tree if there's a real, you know, like electricity line. So like this, clear that down a bit. Then move these along like so. Awesome. And I'm just going to take out this one as well. Like that. Make it look a bit more natural by just kind of messing it up. Purposely messing it up. There we are. Yeah, like so. Cool. And that is it. That is how to build Brimborn Steelworks from Stranger Things and in Minecraft.
Pretty impressive, right?
Let me just double check. Don't want to like mess up again. Just double checking my work. Wow, we're all good. We're all good. Awesome. Well, there we have it, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me for this mini-series on how to build Brimborn Steelworks from Stranger Things Season 3 in Minecraft. Stranger Things Season 3 still remains my favourite season. I've said this before Season 5 comes out, by the way. Just in case that is awesome as well. Season 4 was amazing, but I just felt like everything that happened in Season 3 was just so... It was a roller coaster of emotion. You had Billy, you had the Mind Flayer, which was so like menacing and scary. The whole like thing with the rats, like it was like a mystery as well. It was so cool. Really, really enjoyed it. Let me know your favourite season in the comments below. I would love to hear. If you did enjoy this one though, guys, please be sure to drop a like on it. If you're interested in future Stranger Things tutorials, which I'll definitely be doing more, I always love to build stuff from my favourite TV shows, so please stick around for those by subscribing. And finally, if you're on social media, so am I, you can check out my links with the description, I was going to say, but that just sounds super like short and snappy. In the description, anyways. So thank you very much. But yeah, you take the best of care, have an excellent rest of your day, stay safe, eat well, and I will see you very shortly for another Wheelassassin guide. Goodbye for now.